All right, ready to go.
Awesome. So, first question: if you were advising Doug Osman, would you recommend that he accepts the offer from Turn to acquire Yieldex? Why or why not? What do you guys think?
I wouldn't accept the offer, in part because there's a lot of people who are involved in the project and they want it to succeed, and they seem to have a lot of things in place to make it successful. And I think that makes it a good bet that he will get more in the end than from that offer.
That were selling for like several $100 million. So selling out at $2 million and $2 million in stock. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's cutting himself short, even though the evaluation at the time is right around there. It looks like. I just feel like there's so much more potential.
So I had a question because what was that at the very beginning of the case? It talked about his first the $300,000 round of angel funding from the three
Mhm.
different investors.
Uh-huh.
Didn't that say that if it ever sold, that they would get 2 times their capital and interest,
Yeah.
and then they'd also get, if it sold for share or for equity, they'd get 25% of the shares.
Right.
25% discount.
So
So
really, $2
he would
million
basically,
dollars, even that offer isn't that good, given that.
yeah, because right off the bat he'd have to pay back like 600,000 plus there was like interest, which was like 8% or something like that. So
Yeah. So, and then they even said they'd give him so many shares, but he'd lose 25% of those shares right off the bat too.
Well, it says they get a 25% discount. I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, I also don't think he should take it or accept it.
yeah. Did you guys do anything with the information? So like the bullet points on under question one.
Um, kind of.
Here,
I
I
looked
don't know if
down in the exhibits. They have like an exhibit for how many shares Doug and the Shields would get.
Yeah.
So I just put that he would get about 4 million shares from. Well, he would start out with 4 million shares, which is about what they have in the exhibit for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is what I did. I kind of took that little table and I added to it, and you see what I did there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not anymore.
So, so most of this was one of the exhibits. I just added to it a little bit underneath. So I don't know if I even did it right, but so under the share price. So for the bullet points, it talked about the share price being at 50 cents. So the total number of shares was 9.9 million, right?
Yeah.
So at 50 cents, it would come at just under 5 million shares, or $5 million be the evaluation of the company. And then I just kind of did the same thing. Now with those bullet points, it said so 2 times the share price. So I mean that means it'd be $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then $1.50 for that third bullet point. So, I mean, as far as the evaluations at those stock prices, that's kind of what I got. And then to the right of that, it's just the money, or I guess the equity, or not the, what am I trying to say? The capital. So it says that the new money raised would be 1.5 times. So, wait, I did this one wrong. But anyways, I don't really know what I was doing there, but I felt like I'd show you guys.
Yeah, I was trying to do the questions, but so it talks about Series A and Series B and Series C. Isn't that also because they also have convertible debt, right?
Yeah.
But it
From
never
the-
said what like rate, like discount rate or anything, did it?
Well, so
Yeah,
here's what I saw. So if you look up, what are you saying, Josh?
I said they would get a discount of 25% on the Series A price.
Oh, maybe I missed that.
Yeah, so it gives actually a couple of options, and that's one of the options. But
Oh, I
in the
guess I remember.
table underneath, it kind of has them going for the second option. Let me see if I can find. Where is it? Okay. So yeah, it's on page 2, about halfway down the page, a little more than halfway down the page. It talks about it give them a 25% discount on the shares. And it says each of the angel investors also have the option to increase their initial investment up to, oh, never mind. Okay, so disregard what I was saying. I read that wrong.
Is that so? That 25%, is that for? Is that referring to the Angel A, Angel B, and Angel C,
Yes.
Yeah.
and the Tom Washing sequel?
The what? Oh, no.
On that
So
table?
I think that would be the, wait, say that one more time.
Because on that table for where is it? The exhibit 4,
Yeah.
the Tom Washing / sequel. He also has conversion of seed note.
Right.
So
So
they didn't get
he
any
was
shares
one
or
of the
anything issued,
first.
right?
So Tom was one of the first to invest, right?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. And then it's just showing 3 other angel investors.
That's what I was kind of confused about that because he said he raised like 300,000, but then, well, I guess these two, I can.
Yeah, so I think it's talking about Tom and Angel B and Angel C, because they initially invested, or wait, shoot, that might not be right either. I keep saying stuff and not really sure if it's right or not.
Because those ones invested the max, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they had an option to invest up to the 156,000.
right, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I am confused about Angel A, how it's only 65,000, but
Instead of 100.
Like, seemed like they just made it all stay under or equal 300,000 or something.
Yeah, and so that I guess that's what I was confused about. Is the conversion rate to in the first round,
uh-huh.
and then the second and or whatever round B and round C. So I only did the initial round.
Yeah.
in my calculations.
Yeah,
But I
I don't
guess
know.
I could just assume they all get a 25% interest rate, and maybe I could work with that.
Well, a 25% discount.
Yeah.
I think Exhibit 5 is pretty cool because it shows how much similar companies sold for. So he seems like he could make a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have to still go back and work out some calculations, but
Now here's one of
anyways.
my questions that I had. So in Exhibit 4, it just shows like the money that they raised. Now, if the investors were to convert that into stock,
Uh-huh.
would that come out of the common shares that already exist, out of the 9 million?
I don't think so. I think it would add to that.
Because it did talk about like basically uh, what did it say?
Diluting.
Yeah,
Yeah, so even if you add common shares, they're still, if you add shares to that, then their shares become a smaller percentage of the total.
right. It doesn't take away from it. It just lowers the percentage of the overall. Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
So, yeah, so really, I mean, they talked about getting 50% share, 50-50 split, but in the end, they're down to, I mean, in the first round with the employee option pool, they were down to 42%. And
Right.
then after, I think the first round or something, they're down to 36. So I don't know.
Okay. Perfect.
Well,
At least that's how I understood it.
Yeah. No, that's right. Um,
All right.
question. Go on to question 2. Says assuming Cosman rejected the turn offer, what deal should he strike with Tom Shields? What is fair? Does Shields deserve 50% of the equity? Should he be considered a co-founder? What do you guys think?
I think it's fair. 50-50 is fair because I think Shields would help generate revenue better than uh, he could by himself. And Shields has he has a good resume. Or he has good experience. He has done startups, and Cosman doesn't really like risk or business or being a leader. He said so.
Yeah.
If Cosman doesn't really want to put in that much work with that stuff, I think it's fair.
Yeah. I mean, again, I feel like there's not enough information to really have a solid answer, but I have basically the same opinion as you. What's his face? Shields. I mean, with his resume, is going to be able to help that company a lot. I feel, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well.
All right, number 3. If you do not like the deal in the case, what alternatives would you propose?
Are we talking about the 50-50 deal or the turn offer?
I think it's talking about the turn offer. At least that's what I was.
I thought I was talking about the other thing.
Oh, okay, maybe it's talking about both. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I don't know, because I can kind of see both sides. I mean, I don't think he should take the turn offer, but I think they should continue with the company. As far as like the split, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with it. I could see Cosman's kind of point of view, because he was the one that came up with the whole idea, so none of this would even exist if it wasn't for him. So I could see him wanting more of a share, but at the same time, it's not going to go anywhere,
Yeah.
really, if it's just him.
I think that if there was an alternative that 50-50, it would be some. I would think you could do something like start out with a lower equity, and then see how much revenue they produce. If they get to a certain amount of revenue, then I think he should be able to get some of Cosman's equity to get back to 50-50.
Yeah, I actually kind of had a similar thought, just a little bit lower equity, and then maybe down the road have like a buy-in option to where it could be 50-50 or something like that.
Just for Shield?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd actually be a good idea, because he's the one kind of controlling everything since he's the CEO.
Right.
So it's not fair if Cosman suffers, really.
Yeah, because it talks about how CEOs normally should get about 10%. So that's kind of a huge jump from 10 to 50%, but it is kind of the start of the company. So he is doing a lot more than any normal CEO would that's joining the company.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cosman doesn't. I think he really wants to take that turn deal. And he probably would if he didn't have so many people already involved in it.
Yeah, it's definitely the easy way out. And I mean, the fact that he still gets $2 million in shares, it's not a bad deal.
Didn't it talk about, so Cosman's taken like 120,000
Oh, yeah.
for revenue.
Of what?
And then
I was like talking to my mom.
isn't Shield taking like 250 or something?
250 of what?
Compensation. So Shield, according to the Exhibit 3, Tom Shield's offer, so he'd be making 250,000 a year after the closing of Series A financing. So he's making like twice of what Cosman, as far as salary. So I mean, I feel like that would be a good alternative, just judging by how much compensation he's getting in other ways. Just lower equity.
Yeah.
There's a link in the discussion for this case, and it talks about how Cosman they ended up being a 40-60 split, with Cosman taking 60%.
Is that case B?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I just opened it.
Yeah. Yeah, so much for the 6 pages.
Wait, so there's like a legit another case?
It's
It's
just
the
like
result, I think.
yeah.
Oh. Well,
I think that he leveraged the turn deal into more equity for himself. Smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 40-60 sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So should we sum it all up real quick?
Sure.
Yes. What did you kind of put for the last question? Who should they
He should
turn
turn to
for
God.
or who should Cosman turn for assistance in making these decisions?
The spirit.
Yeah. What question are you looking at?
It's the
It
fourth
says,
question.
who should Cosman turn to for assistance in making these decisions?
Oh, on the prep assignment.
I didn't really know how to answer that, but I just said, I mean, he should. I feel like it's his decision, so it's a personal decision that he should consider with, I mean, even his wife, and I mean, I guess with prayer. I don't know, but I think that he should talk to everybody that's affected, including Shields, Washing, Smolin, just to kind of hear everybody's reasoning as to why or why not he should take the deal. That's what I put.
That's basically what I have.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Cool. Any last minute remarks?
Either way, he's probably gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it seems like everything's going really well, and then it talks about how other similar companies are selling for $300 million. So it's like it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, and they both
Yeah.
have background in their software and stuff. So
And them together, I think, is a good duo. They both,
And then the network of investors they have is pretty good.
yeah.
yeah. Cool.
Awesome. Well, is that it?
Yeah. Is that our summary?
Probably.
All right.
Yeah, this was definitely a shorter case, so shorter meeting, which I'm okay with.
Me too.
All right, guys. See you next week, I guess.